Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. We here at the studio have joked around that this has been the year of Obsidian.
That's where I come in. You can get out of here, Fergus. Thank you so much. No, you're doing great. You nailed it. The sequel is the lifeblood of every great franchise. Think about it. The original creates the world and builds fandom, but the sequel, that's what makes it worth remembering. No sequel, no hoverboard. No sequel, no dual SMGs. No sequel, no raccoon tail. No sequel, no Zune 2. Which doesn't really exist, but I wish it had.
There was a Zune 2.
There was a Zune 2? I'm Mark, the head of sequels here at Obsidian, and I have sequelized everything. Blockbuster movies to AAA video games to my first marriage, so trust me, I know what I'm doing. Come along on this journey with me. Part 2.
I love a deep RPG experience, and building out that RPG crunchiness for our players was at the forefront of what we set out to create. We prioritize those deeper RPG options with different character builds and combos so players can express their role-playing power fantasies. We also have different equipment options for different playstyles and different companions with different abilities. In the first Outer Worlds, you start off as the Stranger, which was basically a blank slate to build on top of with various attribute points that would begin to define your personal experience in the game. You can make any kind of character you want, but we've given you a role. That role is an Earth Directorate agent. You can think of them as kind of like space cowboys or space sky marshals. They're the good guys that go into places and kind of fix everything that's wrong. You're gonna be one of those. But we don't tell you why you joined the Earth Directorate. There could have been a lot of different reasons, right? It could have been because you're an actual lawbringer and you want to go in there and spread law throughout the galaxy. It could be that you're a roustabout and you just had nothing better to do. After you pick your background, one of the really important choices you have next is choosing your traits. While we had attributes in the first Outer Worlds, we've leaned into traits for the Outer Worlds too, which are these big changes to your character depending on which ones you pick. So it could be something like Brilliant, where you can tag extra skills and you start getting extra skill points. And that's obviously really great if that's how you want to build your character. You can also go and do something like Lucky, where you get extra critical chance, and you also get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back Dumb, so players love the Dumb option.
Tell me, do you believe in signs? Not quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could put your adventurous spirit to good use.
You get like lots of really cool, fun conversation options in the game, but we took that even further. And again, there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb and use that for something. Could be something as simple as banging on a machine to get it to work. After you've invested in some of your traits, your next choices are going to be choosing your skills. The skills themselves basically allow you to build on your playstyle and what your character is doing in the game. That will be everything from playing stealthily to speccing for an explosive specialty.
As you start killing people, they will drop hearts. And you can take those hearts, and essentially you're taking these trophies, you could say, and it's actually giving you a permanent health bonus every time you do it. We have this perk called Assassin. Now, this is an early game perk that you can take, which every time you stealth attack an enemy, you're actually going to get a movement bonus for a certain amount of time.
Flaws were a system that everybody loved from the first game, but we wanted to make it more personal to the player. We wanted it to really reflect how you were playing the game and give you a bonus that you actually wanted to really engage with.
With the flaw system returning, we knew we needed to go bigger, better, and more real than ever before. So, we turned to the team. I told them, no bad ideas. Give me what you got. Okay, we need more flaws. We need them to be real. I want to put them in the game, so give me something. Inspiration. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I have bad knees.
You got bad knees? They hurt when you walk a lot?
Yes.
When you walk too much, they hurt?
No cartilage.
Sounds boring. Makes you sound like a boring person, but it's in the game.
I know it.
It's a good flaw. What about you?
I like to take small things sometimes.
So you're stealing?
No, I'm taking.
When do you give them back?
I don't.
Claire. Claire, you shouldn't be stealing. What are you doing? You shouldn't be stealing, Claire.
Tiny crimes.
Tiny crimes? Do you hear the second part, though? It's a crime.
Well,
You're stealing. Claire, that's wrong. You can't steal things, okay? But it's an amazing flaw, and I'm putting it in the game. But you're a bad person. And are you the one that took my stapler?
do you need it?
Yeah. Give it back.
Okay.
Please. You, what do we got? Flaw.
I like to stare at the sun.
How long did you stare at the sun?
Just lunch break.
An hour?
Oh, I only get 30. You guys get an hour?
I get an hour.
An hour.
Oh. Makes you feel energized.
How many fingers am I holding up?
3?
No. Anything else? We'll put it in the game. We'll put it in the game because I feel bad for you. Anything else?
One of my favorite flaws is something called bad knees. It will actually give you the option to take this flaw that'll make it so that you move faster throughout the game. But the problem is, anytime you stand up, your knees are going to make a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to hear you.
There's one called Kleptomaniac. This is really interesting because what it does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits than normal. And like that sounds really great. The drawback is sometimes when you're looking at things in the world that are owned by somebody else, you'll automatically steal them. So you have to be very careful about how you use them.
One of our more wacky perks is the Sun Gazer Flaw, and it just gives everyone cataracts while playing their game. So everything becomes like light shafts and blooms and hazes, and makes the game pretty unplayable if you happen to choose that perk.
If you happen to be the type of player that habitually reloads your weapons like I do, well, you'll be offered the flaw of over-prepared. Now, you'll get larger magazine sizes on all of your weapons, but if you ever fully empty your magazine, you're gonna take a debuff for a while. While we support options like being a gunslinger who wants to key into destructive weapons, or a rogue who wants to alpha strike their enemies before they know what hit them, we also allow for a lot of fun and experimental builds. You can be a mad scientist who utilizes gadgets and wacky science weapons and armors, or even a psychopath who gains permanent bonuses to health by murdering their friends.
Nothing shows the impact of these character build options better than, in my opinion, the bridge area, which has a quest you get early on in Paradise Island. Not only do you kind of encounter this very early, and it's a very core one to the story, but it really expresses our philosophy of allowing the player to solve problems in a bunch of ways. So you may solve it by, speech options. You may talk to them and maybe have to go do a quest for them and really kind of prove that you're a friend of the Protectorate to get by.
I may have need of your help, stranger, if you are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate.
You could go guns blazing and you could just take everyone out inside the POI, lower the bridge itself, and kind of get across. You could sneak in, lower the bridge, and then actually sneak in under the bridge to get over to the other side.
The Protectorate wants to close them to protect their legacy as the inventor of the drives and their wealth. The Order wants to close them not only for the good of everyone, but also because they're complicating the math they're using to solve the universal equation. And Antes just wants to be able to open and close them at will to control all the trade routes between the colonies. In addition to expanding the themes and lore of the Outer Worlds, we're also expanding the humor, so each faction has its own flavor of absurdity. Anti's Choice is a merger between Anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice from the original game, and there are corporate representatives in the Outer Worlds too. They've invaded Arcadia to liberate their resources for all of humanity, at a profit, of course.
One of my favorite things from Fallout New Vegas is the radio system. It was just iconic for me, and I wanted to make sure that the Outer Worlds 2 had that. So we actually built out 3 different radio stations, one for each of the major factions. You also have a ton of music. Each station might have, I think 20 tracks of unique music that we've made for it. It's a lot of stuff. But the really cool part about this entire thing is that we actually put a lot of reactivity into the radio. So it will respond to the things that are going on around the world that you've been interacting with. So if you go into a location, let's say you solve a problem for the Protectorate folks, if you listen to the Protectorate radio station, they're gonna be cheering you on as a hero.
Wonderful news, everyone. The uranium gas leaks at the Automech repair facility, strongly believed to be caused by Auntie's choice malefactors, have been corrected.
Some hotshot for hire just managed to fix the electrum leak in their repair facility. Now, I'm not saying we caused it in the first place, but we sure like the idea of all those broken auto mechanicals and all the excessive gasping and choking involved.
The factions and companions are great examples of how we're going deeper and more complex this time around.
You're thinking, what's C for? C, capitalize the fact that the people loved the first game. We're gonna take those people, sweet, sweet. If you don't have rhythm, Brandon, just say it. Sweet, sweet, pre-order. Everybody has a different rhythm and it's blowing mine, and here we go. B, burglarize. What is this? It's basically just finding new ways to loot dead bodies. You know what I mean? Right, Otis? Okay, well, it's a big part of the game. A, you gotta agonize about how many people are gonna be angry that we have just put so much combat into this thing and almost no romance at all. We should look at ourselves. What is wrong with us? Huh? We can't have one love story in this? How many people have been in love? Raise your hands. Raise your hand if you're in love.
This has been absolutely, I just had to chime in for a minute. This.
T, toi. In French,
I cannot wait to play the second one. I am downloading Outer Worlds today, re-downloading it, and I am going to play that from the beginning. I am starting that series. I don't care what anybody thinks of this comical satire thing in it.
We focused on improving the feel of each
All right,
weapon.
that's enough for me.
Things like how unique reload animation can add a lot of character to each weapon. We've increased the variety of weapons by including new weapon types, but also through a host of fun and unique weaponry. We have things like the Bourse Blaster that fires out tumors that can explode like grenades, or can even be eaten by the player for additional health. One of my personal favorite weapons is called the Big Bang. It's just a big freaking gun that uses material harvested from rifts to shoot out a giant ball of energy, vaporizing everything in its path. Now, ammo's extremely rare for this weapon, but you can use it in just the right situation to devastating effects.
Like another great one is Gary. If you wear Gary, he will lash out at your opponents as you're walking through combat. So we even have science armors, and we've really kind of shown off what we thought was really great for the player from a science perspective.
We're all about letting people play the game their way. There are some players who prefer to be immersed in a first-person view, taking in all of the details. But there are others who really prefer to take the world in from a third-person perspective. Why not allow both? Well, now you can swap between the two.
Wait for you to play it.
Even though we've always been a multi-project studio, this is going to be the first time we've ever released 3 games in 1 year. It feels amazing to do. We're so excited for more people to be playing our games. It is truly an exciting time here at Obsidian. We're exploring worlds big and small while expanding on franchises that we've created, and we have no plans to slow down. We hope you all continue to come along with us as we do what we do best, make your worlds your way.
Well, guys, I'm definitely in it. I'm definitely in it all the way. I said it before, but yeah. And I didn't even realize that Grounded was created by Obsidian either. Yep, you know what? See this? I'm gonna get this battery in this.
With the Outer Worlds 2,
we're gonna put Outer Worlds
the best place to play, which is also
on the console right
of
now.
Xbox. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it may be hard to play it when you're staring at all these beautiful holes. Let's cut that. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox. Oh yeah, now that's Microsoft. Or you can take a phone call on this Xbox, then play the Outer Worlds 2 right after. Excuse me, I'm getting a call. Hello? What am I doing? I'm playing the Outer Worlds. Hello? Yeah, this is Mark. I didn't know I had jury duty today. You could play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it takes 2 people to lug around safely. We're gonna go up to my apartment, okay? And this is an Xbox you actually wear that also plays the Outer Worlds 2.
What?
What do you think, Claire?
This is amazing.
Are you playing?
I think so.
Fantastic. So now this is actually not an Xbox, so you cannot play the Outer Worlds 2 on it. You can't play anything on this. I guess Bread. You ever play Bread where you take it out of one slot, put it in the other? I don't have friends. If you pre-order the premium edition now, you'll get early access, which is like a prequel to the sequel, or has launched the sequel to the pre-order, or like, why are any of us alive at any time? It doesn't matter. Either way, my job here is done. It's time for the Grounded 2 portion of the Direct, which is sort of like the sequel to the Outer Worlds 2 portion of the Direct, which I absolutely just hit a home run with. You know, it's really nice to see my influence go on to other games. Take it away, team. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind, I gotta make it. I'm saving every day to taste it, I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages, a vacant modern kingdom for the taking.